Hey, well, welcome to this Caregiver Coffee. This is our eighth episode, and I'm so glad to welcome you. My name is Matt Estrad. I'm a gerontologist in the greater New Orleans area, and I've been partnering with the Council on Aging in St. Tammany for over 5 years. In that time, I've done some consulting, and I've also, over those 5 years, or close to 4.5 years, been a facilitator for the caregiver support groups that we have 4 Tuesdays a month for those years, and we usually meet at the Covington Activity Center and the Slidell Activity Center. But due to the current pandemic, we meet remotely on Zoom. So if you're interested in meeting with us on Tuesdays using that video or even just a phone call platform, certainly just let us know. You can email me right here at matt@carepartnermentoring.com, and I'll be happy to send you all the information that is needed. They are on Tuesdays, and we go back and forth between meeting at noon, or we alternate between noon and 6 p.m. So people with different schedules can join us. If you're working and 12 noon is not possible during your lunch hour, we do 6 p.m. as well to try to catch it in the evening. So hopefully you can experience that. And we have care partners of all different conditions that come to our group. And many times it is dementia. It's Alzheimer's, it's dementia with Lewy bodies, it's vascular dementia, etc. But we welcome everybody, even if you're caring for someone and it's not related to dementia. So today, as always, I'm taking questions, accepting comments. If you want to like this and share it, that would be awesome. So I'm going to talk about a certain topic as I do every week, but you can certainly interrupt me with a question on the live comments, and I'll do my best to answer that. So go ahead and do that, or in the future, you can always send something remotely at the email address, matt@carepartnermentoring.com. So today we're going to talk about establishing a routine, and I wrote an article about this. So if you're interested in that, you can also shoot me an email. I have that on my blog. But it's interesting because over the past years and years, I hear how a routine is helpful. And what I usually do is, even when it makes sense to me, I go to the academic literature. I go to research journals. I'll do a search on Google Scholar, or I'll go to pubmed.gov, and I'll look for research articles. These are written by scientists, by physicians, etc., nurses, nurse researchers, etc. And I try to find what the research data is saying, rather than just going to a Google search, although that's not bad in and of itself. I like to go to the journals first and see what the physicians are saying. So I couldn't find anything on the association between having a routine and having a better mood in our loved one, or it being better for caregivers, etc., which I was very strange, because that is what we think of, is that a routine is helpful, whether it's persons living with dementia, or you're just taking care of a family, or even if you're just by yourself, a routine helps. So I still think that a routine is helpful because of the many years of care partners telling me that, and as well as, as a parent, I know that when my children are on some kind of routine, it's helpful for me, it's helpful for them. So I still recommend it, even though we're not finding any science behind it. Now, I did find an article that said that routine is important, but that if you have poor sleep hygiene, or if your loved one is not sleeping and they have dementia, then that can throw things off, and then even a great routine is going to be very difficult to follow through on. So, I'll talk about sleep in another Caregiver Coffee in another article. But let's talk about routines and why they're important. First, we talk about how they relate to our loved one who's living with dementia, and it helps them. We believe that it helps them. What I've heard from care partners is that it helps their loved one kind of see what's coming next and to know what's coming next. Now, even though their cognition, their awareness, and their memory might go up and down during the day, or it might be just at a very low level where you think that a schedule is not going to help, I would still encourage you to have a whiteboard, where every day you can write the day, the date. You can write down what activities, like, okay, we're going to wake up at this time. This is what time we're going to try to have lunch. This is what I'm preparing you for lunch. This is what time we're having dinner. This is when we're going to have activities, and this is an activity that we're going to, at least the initial one, that we're going to try. And so I recommend that. Now, many times the schedule goes out of whack for whatever reason, because our loved ones because of dementia, our schedule and our routine can just get thrown off. So we need to remember that even though we have this schedule right here, it is written on a whiteboard, right? So we should be flexible with our loved one. We should be forgiving and flexible with ourselves if we're not able to stick with it. This on the whiteboard is really just our best effort of what we're doing. And if anything, even if it doesn't even if your loved one is not able to make sense of the words or even pictures, so pictures might be helpful, like pictures of meals, pictures of activities. So even if that's not helping your loved one, I think that it would help care partners to, as Zig Ziglar said, to win, W-I-N, because you know what is next. So W-I-N is what is next. So when we know what's ahead of us, what's coming up next, we get to prepare for it, we get to look forward to it, and just make the best situation as we possibly can. So I recommend that you do that for your loved one, but also as a care partner, as a caregiver. It's helping you set up what is next, like I mentioned. But it's important for you to have a routine as far as your hobbies, a break for yourself. And this is a break inside the home if you can wake up early, or if you can stay up late, or if your loved one is taking a nap. Know what you want to do. Have that in your routine so that when that opportunity presents itself, you can possibly do that. So it can be in the home, it can be outside the home, it could be having lunch with friends once a month, it could be playing bridge once a week, whatever that is. Do your best, try to get it set up, and then do your best to follow up. And that might involve getting family and friends to come over and be with your loved one. It might mean that you're on a schedule for respite with the Council on Aging. It might mean that you're independently hiring someone to come in for that short amount of time. So however you do it. And also, I recommend that routine include fitness. Now, that's great if it can be outside the home at the YMCA or at a local health club, or if you walk around the block. If you can't do that, Christy does a great job of having fitness here on the Council on Aging Facebook page. I think it's daily that she's there, and she's doing chair yoga, and she's stretching, she's giving some nutritional recommendations. So be sure that you're signed up for notifications for the Council on Aging, so you get Christy's notifications when she goes live. I think usually they're in the morning, and that's a great way to get some physical activity. If you can take a nap while your loved one takes a nap, that would be even better. So you start to rest before you're tired, would be optimal. So I have questions for you, and ask that for you to provide your answers and your feedback in the comment section, either in the last couple of minutes, in the few minutes that we have left, or long after this video has gone on. Let me know what are you doing for your routine. Are you able to schedule breaks or have rough schedules? Do you already have a whiteboard and a calendar and a date and all that? So send me your comments here in the comment section, or you can shoot me an email. That might actually be the best place if you're watching this as an archive video, is to send me an email and let me know what your routine looks like. What have you learned from that? What mistakes have you made? Which then means you're learning things, right? When we try things and we make mistakes, these are opportunities for us to learn how to do things best. And even though your loved one is unique and you're unique, we can still learn, I believe, principles and lessons from each other. And if you do that, I can go ahead and share that with others. I'll withhold your name if you want to. But really, we just want to be able to educate and share experiences so that we help each other. I know that when I lead the support groups, that's better than any book that I can read, because I'm getting real feedback from caregivers that I know personally, and they just pass along a lot of wisdom to me. I do want to say one more thing about the whiteboard. So I talked about, when you put your date, put the day of the week, put the rough times when you're doing things. And I mentioned being flexible, but I want to caution you against something that people do. It's called reorientation. So if your loved one thinks it's Monday and it's really Friday, just let it be Monday for them. If it's 1955 in their mind, let it be 1955. If we try to reorient them or turn them to and correct them to what reality is, the place, the time, the year, anything like that, that's the opportunity for dispute, for conflict, for both parties to get into a bad mood. So I encourage you to jump into their world, and it's okay to agree with them. You're not lying if you agree that it's a different year than it is. You're really just trying to keep them in a peaceful mood. You're entering their world, and you're really validating their world. We all want to be validated. I feel, in our opinion. So validation does have a lot of research behind it. So I would encourage you to validate what they're saying, what they're thinking, to enter their world rather than to try and reorient them to what today really is. So I hope this information has been helpful to you. I base these caregiver coffees usually on articles that I've written. So if you have any other ideas of articles you would like to see, or topics you'd like to see presented, questions you would like to have answered, even if you want to remain anonymous, I encourage you to send me an email to matt@carepartnermentoring.com with that. And also, if you have any questions about how you can get involved in the Council on Aging caregiver groups, the caregiver support groups that I facilitate virtually at this point at the end of July of 2020. We're still virtual. I hope that sometime this year we will be back, but who knows. So anyway, if you want information on the call-in information, please send me an email. I'll be happy to respond with that. So that's all we have for today for Caregiver Coffee. I appreciate the Council on Aging having me here and working with them on all these mini projects. And I hope they're helpful to you. And I will see you next Monday. Take care and God bless.